Hello tadpales and welcome to a brand new video. It is Uptie Day and I am very excited. We are going to uptie the princess of Manchaland. I have been grinding some threads and we will definitely be able to uptie her, and then if I have enough, I want to uptie my RB chef de cuisine, my Ryoshu. That is the plan for today. We are going to be seeing the story behind the character, and I'm excited. So here we go. I have 245 threads. A lot of you have been telling me that I need to uptie, and I do not want to be caught with my pants down in Canto 4. That's the saying, right? Okay, anyway, let's uptie my princess. Oh, Rosian. Identity uptied. Awesome. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's story time. I do love the fact that we get stories with the upties. We were happy at first. Father spent his days twaddling about silly things like dreams, but I suppose he had his own charming mirth. But it was a good life, if the worst thing I had to do was to placidly indulge his stories. My memories of the years I lived as a human have all but disappeared, but at least this life had to be better than whatever that was. Maybe that's why I agreed to become his kindred. Ooh, look at her eyes. Her eyes, tadpales. Look at her eyes, okay? Nothing else. Or maybe I was seduced by the promise that my beauty could be made to last for all eternity. I began to understand my father only when I began to create my own kindreds, my children. When they began to grow in number, I understood that Father wanted us to be happy. He wanted to free us from the crippling loneliness, for he was the first to suffer it. Listen to the music. Or so I thought, until some traveler visited our castle and deluded my father with that sickening manipulation that his dream could somehow be realized even in the waking world. Sancho. Father always tried to bring us two closer, as if we were sisters. Perhaps it was fortunate that neither of us was the friendly type. We both liked to put up a wall between us and the rest of the world, so naturally, we distanced ourselves from each other as well. I had a degree of faith in her. However, her strength, her abilities, and her more down-to-earth perspective on life that heavily contrasted our father's wild imaginations. Sancho never had children of her own, but she always seemed at least neutral when it came to looking after my kindreds. And it is that odd distance between us that brought this plan to fruition. Though we were both second kindreds, I could let her take care of our family, to look after my children and their kindreds, while I devised this plan. Eventually, our father's sanity was completely broken. He destroyed our castle and built a bizarre amusement park in its place, rambling a plan that seemed to have come straight out of a madman's dream, that we could coexist with humans. That we must live begging for a stagnant blood in packs with veins pulsating with hotly flowing blood walking right past us. That we must subsist on that thing, more flavorless than even pastel paste. That all of his kindreds must live trapped in a fate worse than that of a blood bag, all for the future in which blood fiends and humans may coexist in harmony. His eyes gleamed with conviction that to dream, he could endure even the yearning for blood. Yet, desire is not something that can be so easily overcome. It has broken my undying loyalty. This hunger coerced me to think of committing the inconceivable crime of filial impiety. No, it may just be that I do not have the strength to pursue the dream as he does. There was a peddler, a merchant of odds and ends who'd always come to visit us at the amusement park. Our father is tragically naive and innocent. Every time the merchant brought him false relics, he'd get swindled into buying every single one of them. But then, peddler didn't just carry counterfeits. Sometimes Sancho and I would go behind our father's backs to threaten the peddler, and we would be presented with an authentic relic the very next day. So one day, another day of suffering through that hunger, I thought to ask the peddler about this rumored relic. Say, do you know about the legendary helm of Mambrino that brings the wearer to equal ground with all those around them? That little tomb raider could not possibly have imagined what we were planning to do with the artifact. Of course not. Just as we could never gain an understanding of humans, just as we could never be one of them, no matter how long our lives may be. They won't ever understand us. Gregor, that child, he claimed that wasn't true, that humans were really starting to see us in a new light, but I saw it all from the apex upon which I stood. Oh my gosh, what is going on? What was that? Humans looking up at me and the parade, their faces brilliant with happy smiles. And blood fiends who shuffled among humans with their eyes lost and wavering with hunger. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter whether humans saw us in a different light or not. What matters is that I and my children are going hungry. Oh my gosh! They gave in. They gave in. She let her children loose. Besides, Sancho agreed with me. We couldn't just sit here and watch that human corrupt our father with that silver tongue. Finally, the preparations for the carnival are complete. Now, I leave this endlessly whirling yet stagnant, self-devouring parade and announce the beginning of a true feast of blood. Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. Oh my gosh, how dark is that? That is so good. Oh my word. Oh, I love the Manchaland characters, and I cannot wait to get to that point in the story. That whole part of the world is so interesting to me, and I think it's going to be my favorite part of the game. I love the Manchaland characters so much, and that was intense. I really love the fact that it was like, okay, blood fiends using blood bags because we are not going to feed on humans anymore, but it seems like they're getting to a point where they cannot go hungry anymore, and they want that raw blood from the humans. So cool. That was amazing. That was amazing. Okay, we are going to be continuing our uptying, and let's see what RB Chef de Cuisine is up to.
드디어 8명 중 1명. 아니야? 그럼
Joining the 8. Interesting. Ryoshu is terrifying. She's one of those terrifying characters that I love, though. Oh, you're up. The child speaks plainly. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is that Gregor in the background? Or was that Rojian? Nope, definitely Gregor. I see the cigarette smoke. If it weren't for the visceral scenery, it could be easily mistaken for a cordial greeting. The cordial. Cordial greeting to someone who just woke up from sweet slumber. Good thing you got up in time. If the work's done while the heart beats too slow, it impacts the taste. Oh my gosh. Are they cannibals? The child watches someone laid on the floor with a light cackle. The pitiful fellow writhes and struggles on the floor, unable to accept the situation. Hey, don't move too much. I told you that sous chef to sap enough wind out of the meat. Oh, slap. The child slapped the poor fellow's cheek, her words heartless. Can't stand when the subject material tries to take the center of the art on its own. Keep still if you don't want your LB. What's his LB? Even though there was no way for the victim to know that it stood for limbs broken, they noticed quickly enough that remaining still was the only way to prolong their life. Here's your reward for being such an OP. Oh my gosh. The child inserted a syringe she'd been fiddling with into the victim. It's an injection of anesthetic mixed with a variety of flavoring agents. A pricey concoction that will make you the greatest work in the back streets, a delicacy and art. The child's constant rambling about art and such can be a bit confusing. One thing to note is that the back streets of District 23 are known as the streets of flavor. That's right, the back streets located around the nests where W Corp is. Its culture revolves around gastronomy. The people seek good eating and derive beauty from it. Those closely related to culinary art, such as the 8 chefs and the Doshaline guides, also originate from this place. This child wants to join the ranks of the prestigious 8. She uses humans, often called one of the flowering pinnacles of artistic cuisine, as her main ingredient. To that end, the child set up an establishment here and named it RB. Such acronyms must be the child's adamant preference. As one could guess, the child makes meat pies. Oh my. Oh, that is so disgusting. That is disgusting. They have been earning a certain kind of reputation among gourmet. Oh my. Oh my. Now, you can feel your senses numbing, yes? The child delightfully watched her victim as she examined her blade. You'd better be good material. I'm starting to run out of patience with that dull, bungling, inexperienced assistant Gregor. Clicking her tongue, the child began to grumble, going on about how she dislikes her assistant's sluggish pace, his tendency to bring her bad ingredients, his dull cleaver damaging the goods, and so on. Well, whatever. I'll fire him the moment I rise as one of the 8 chefs. While the child complains, the victim's eyelids begin to drift shut. Why is she so annoyed? What will become of them? Their thoughts blurred away, and their consciousness dims. Back to work for now. Now, smile. You're about to be at the center of an art piece. Looking into the victim, the child raises her knife. Was it a coincidence that the stains of blood on her knife resembled a grin? Oh! That is a really cool touch. Seeing her face, it looks like there is no need to wonder at all. Oh my gosh, that is disgusting. Why did I just uptie 2 nasty characters? One likes to drink blood and the other one likes to eat humans. Oh my goodness. So we uptied the 2. I think I want to keep my thread for Manchaland Don Quixote when she comes out. I was thinking about uptying my End Corp Don Quixote, but we are going to be switching her out as soon as the Manchaland Don Quixote comes out. And then we can kind of switch up our party and see where we go from there. But that is it for today's video. A nice little quick uptie video. Just seeing a little bit of these stories about these characters. It is just such a cool touch with this game. I love it. So now we have 3 characters fully uptied. My priest of Manchaland, my princess of Manchaland, and the RB chef de cuisine. They are all uptied 3'd, and I am feeling pretty good about it. But that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't already. We have been playing a lot of fun games on the channel. Limbus Company, Lobotomy Corp, Arc Knights, all games that I am really enjoying. So make sure you check those videos out if you haven't yet. But that is it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.